Hi, my name is Gerhard Schwantner and welcome to Selling Power TV. Today we have the pleasure of meeting with Barry Traylor. He's partner with CSO Insights. Welcome, Barry.
Thanks, Gerhard. Good to be here.
You wanted to talk about sales mastery. What does that mean?
Well, I've been talking about it for a long time, writing about it, and it really means lifelong learning and continuous growth. That's what mastery is about. And sales mastery is really, a number of things came up during the Sales 2.0 conference, have come up during, the University Sales Education Foundation meetings about, sales as a profession and this question of art versus science. And I think all of that really is part of the sales mastery discussion of what does a pure sales career path look like? If you don't go into management, if you don't go into, operations, if you kept selling, how good could you actually get? That's what sales mastery is.
So what does the term come from? Like from apprentice to master?
Sure. Yeah. George Leonard, really interesting guy, pretty well known in many circles, certainly out in California, was one of the, if not founders, one of the early proponents of the human potential movement. Was a writer for Look magazine, Esquire, contributing editor. Has written a number of books, including a book on mastery. But where I caught on to it, or got excited about, was in the Ultimate Fitness article in Esquire way back in the late '80s, where he was describing really the path or the way of the master, and compared that with other paths like the obsessive or the hacker or other types, and it really is this notion of continuous improvement, and in many ways it's kind of a Zen way of thinking, kind of an Eastern philosophy.
Are you saying that mastery is more of a mindset?
Well, it is. It's clearly a mindset. If you look at the 5 keys to mastery, the first 2 are really more mechanical, and it's not really unlike the Zen of archery, or I'm sure a lot of the folks that are seeing this play golf. The early business, the early lessons are all about mechanics. But once you get past that, then it's all about the mental game and sort of calming your internal chatter and quieting your thoughts and really being present in this moment. So yeah, I'd say from that standpoint, it's very much a mindset or a mental game, for sure.
So what are the higher steps of that level of awareness and performance? How do you define that as an individual so you pursue a tangible goal?
The number 1 key to mastery is having a coach. And a lot of folks will say, well, I've got my sales manager. Is that my coach? And it's like, well, is it? Are you getting coaching, and are you getting feedback on your performance, or are you just being asked for reporting and sort of being given assignments? And I think the notion of coaching has sort of gone out the window. I'm not talking about curbside coaching after a call or everybody doing ride-alongs, but with CRM and all of the reporting, I think somehow people feel that has taken the place of coaching, or somehow that's providing coaching, and that's not it at all.
Right.
But it's much more.
How can an external coach help a salesperson focus on the inner game of master selling?
Well, there are 5 keys. The first key is having a coach. The second is practice, and then you start to get into like surrender, attitude, and excitement. But if we talk about coaching, most people are working on the number. They're working on activity. You don't do numbers, you do stuff. And the stuff you do results in a number. You don't do the number. And so all this attention is being paid on, what's your number and what's closed and what, it's like, what is the one behavior, the one sales skill that we've both agreed upon this quarter, if improved, would have the highest payoff for you? That's the question. And when you, back to your question about the tangible goal, is that the thing we've agreed upon? And even in that exchange, you say, well, I think the best thing for me to work on would be closing. And it's like you've got nothing in your pipeline. So, okay, well, that's interesting. I'm interested in hearing more about, tell me more about how you came to that. I actually have a couple of other behaviors I think we might want to work on first. And so even at that point, it's like, well, how did you come up with that? And it's like, well, I didn't really think about it. I was just pulling something out of the air. So, well, let's focus on something that's a little more meaningful, a little more productive than that.
So there are two things. One is an external process mastery, and there's also an internal process mastery.
Yes.
We are going to continue our conversation tomorrow with Barry Traylor, where we sort this out and develop a path to mastery. Tune in tomorrow.